Hello, I've received an email from one of the students asking about problem 12 in chapter 2, and I thought it would be a good idea to create a video on this question. So, question 12, determine the equivalent annual for the following cash flow if I is equal to 10%. So this is one of the things that missing from the question. Percentage, we don't know what's the percentage, so I've added this 10% as the interest rate. And we have this cash flow. When we have a cash flow like this, what we need to do, we need to use Excel. So I'm going to use Excel here, copy this data that we have on the table, and now what we need to do, we need to analyze the question. What is needed from this question? The question is asking about the annual equivalency. So what do you think we need here? Do we need P? Do we need F or A? Since the annual equivalency or the equivalent annual, this is what is called the annotation A. And the annotation A can be found by using the PMT function in Excel. Okay, but before we do this, what we need to do, as you know, the PMT function or A needs a present value, but we don't have a present value here. So what we need, the first step that we need to do, we have to find the present value for all these transactions. So you type equal PV or NPV because we have more than 1 year. If you have a 1 year, one transaction, you could use the PV function. But since you have more than 1 year, you need to use the NPV. So NPV, interest rate of 10%, and then you select all these values, close the parentheses. That would give you what's the present value of all these transactions. Now, in order to find A or the annual equivalency, annotation A, that would be equal, use the function PMT, open parentheses, rate 10%. What we need, number of years, we need 8 years. What is the annual payment or the annual gain for this project? Close the parentheses. Now we're looking into the PV. If you're following my screen here, and select the number that you just found it from the NPV, close the parentheses, and that would be $139,910. What is the annual equivalency for all these transactions? So what does that mean? You could, instead of, as you see the cash flow here, 200, 180, 160, 140, 120, you could say, okay, we need this to be to pay $139,910 every year, and this would be very equivalent. It would be equivalent to all these transactions. As you see, you will see 200, 180, 160, 140, 120, etc. What you need to do, you need to find the equivalency for these, and the equivalency, the annual equivalency, would be the A, which we used payment function for that. And after this, we could find the annual function, or the annual equivalency would be 139,910. And in order to have a positive value, because all these values are positive, just add a negative on the front of the payment function, just to say, okay, this is a positive number. This is a positive number, exactly similar to all these transactions that we have. So it just makes sense. You need to use your common sense in these kind of scenarios. Do we need a negative here? Are these negative transaction? Are these a positive transaction? These are a positive transaction. Therefore, we have to have a result in a positive number. Thank you guys, and if you have any question, please let me know.